Hi, welcome to Schulte Sweeties YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm a mom of 3 girls ages 12, 8, and 6. And this is our 7th year of homeschooling. We love Guest Hollow around here. We love the curriculum, and I unfortunately could not manage to get a video out when it was released. I did receive the curriculum, which is this Guest Hollow's Junior Early American History for grades 4 through 8. This was just released on Valentine's Day. It was Beowulf's Valentine's Day present. And I couldn't get a video out, but I wanted to get a video out now while there is still a discount. I'll put the promo code down below, but the promo code is Early Adopters 4 to 8. So that is 15% off until March 3rd. So you still have like a little over a week to purchase it and to do your research and make sure you want it, but you probably want it. So I will also link CJ's video from homeschooling through high school. She also did a video. She did it on Valentine's Day when it was released and had a giveaway. It's already over, but go check out her video as well to get a better feel of it. What I like to do in my videos for Guest Hollow, I like to kind of share what it's like and what you're getting. And then I usually go online and show you my computer screen, and I will do a walkthrough of like the schedule. This is 4 to 8 grades, but they are coming out with K through 3 pretty soon for early American history. It could be coming weeks or months, just kind of depends on how fast they can get it out. So that is still coming. So that would mean you could use it with any age of children. You could do early American history. This is similar to like their anatomy courses. They have like a younger anatomy and then like a junior anatomy and then a high school anatomy. So you could use these with all of the ages. That is probably my plan. We are probably actually going to wait to use this until after we have gotten the younger one. And then my oldest would be in high school. My middle would be in the 4 to 8 range, which she's already going to be in the 4 to 8 range. And then my youngest will still be in the younger range. So we will be using it full family. They have tons of Guest Hollow Facebook pages, and they have like a page that you can follow as well. There are tons of people already like saying that they've purchased it and how they are already really enjoying it. So you can already see some feedback, like they just went ahead and printed it and started it right away. So definitely go check that out. If you have any questions, definitely ask them in those groups, because Jen and Charles are always on there as well, explaining things, giving you more feedback. So when you purchase this, it comes with multiple things that you can download and 11 options for downloads. Let me explain. So I will show you this in a little bit on my computer screen too. But you first get the schedule and the book list in Word format. You also get it in PDF format. So that's 2 things. Those don't have to be printed, but you still can download them and look through them. What I like to do is print off my book list, because I like to manually check them off and see which ones I need and which ones I want to get, or which ones I can get in different places. And then I don't necessarily like to print off the schedule most of the time, because I like to just go on their online platform into my downloads and go to the schedule and just go week by week. And I'm able to click on any link there. And so that's what I really love, because I don't have to go and search for the links and everything. So then you're also going to get, it says, before downloading Beowulf's Big Book of Early American History. So if you have not heard about this, this is an awesome book. It is history. So Jen did not write this book. She compiled resources and put it together in this Beowulf's Big Book of History. She did not rewrite history. She used resources. There's a file in your downloads. You need to read it before you download future things. Then you have the Beowulf's Big Book of Early American History, And there are 5 separate files that have them in small chunks. So you have some small chunks that you can print off if you just wanted to print off a small chunk as you go, or if you are sending it off to print. We are not printing this, by the way. I would not recommend printing that Beowulf's Big Book of Early American History because there is a lot of color and it's really beautiful, and I would not recommend printing it yourself. You could send it off to a printer if you wanted. Like, I know some were doing Barnes and Noble. There are some like homeschooling printing companies. We are probably going to just keep it on our computer or my iPad or their iPads, or cast it to our TV when we are doing this. I have no intention of printing this. It is beautiful and it would be beautiful printed, but it is big and colorful. So there are 5 of like the small chunks if you wanted it that way, or there is one big file, so you can download the whole book with that big file. After the complete file, then you have a coupon code for Guest Hollow's big beautiful book list. So they have like lots of books in this list that could go and coordinate with different times in history. So you have a coupon code for that. I don't believe it's very expensive anyway. So you get a coupon code when you purchase this curriculum. And then the last download for this is an optional summary sheet for narration. And I love it. It is such a cute download, and I think it will be perfect to help tie in and help them remember the history that they are learning about each day. So I am going to go ahead and show you a little bit that I have printed. Like I said, I don't print a whole lot, and it's all in a mess right now. I just printed this and it's kind of in a mess, but Guest Hollow is so good about like giving you all the information in these schedules, and so they give you lots of details. They go through how you can go about the book list, go about the schedule. They write a whole long letter to you, and it's awesome information. They do a curriculum checklist, tell you to join their Facebook groups, and I will link a lot of the Facebook groups if I can remember them all down below so you can join those as well. It's using the printable schedule for record keeping if you wanted, notes about videos. It's always at your own discretion. If you don't feel like a video is appropriate for your children, don't watch it. It would be great to screen things, screen books before, just in case there's something that maybe you don't want introduced to your children or something like that. So it is a buffet. You don't have to use everything that they suggest, but they give you so many options that it's really easy to use, and you can pick something if you don't like something else. And they have notes about the links, and they do check the links every year. I have been on the group a couple times where we go through a certain curriculum and we go through and check the links, and then they will switch out links if they don't work. So then they have how to see what's been updated, how to do a more bare bones version versus like doing it all. And then they will start. This is like just an example of how you could adapt your schedule. They have like little notes. It's so cute. She like says what she reads out loud. They put like maybe a child wants to read this book silently by themselves. You like assign it. You can assign it. You can do read alouds. You can do all sorts of things. So it's just kind of going through an example of how you could kind of tailor the schedule. So this is like the red is also how they tailored their schedule and like some notes on it. So it's really helpful. I really like that. I haven't really seen that before, an example of a tailored schedule. And I like that because I'm like, that makes more sense. You know, like if you want to change things up a little bit. Then we're getting close here. They have like recipe activities, different. They're trying hard to like answer as many questions that you might have as you enter into this curriculum, because I feel like it can get overwhelming if you're like just looking at Guest Hollow for the first time and it's like, oh my goodness, there's so many options. There's so much that we could be doing. So then they finish out the letter to you, happy homeschooling. So then we get into the next part is the book list. And this is available. You can look at their book list. I think for most of their curriculum, they have the book list available that you can see what is required and what other books they might recommend. So they usually do a ranking scale of like 1 to 4 or so of whether it's very important that you need it or not. So this is the start of the book list here that I printed out. The very first book that you would rank number 1 is Beowulf's Big Book of Early American History. Like I said, you need this book. And it's just going through and introducing the topics, and you pretty much read it every single day. So that is definitely, you will need that. But you can keep it on your iPad, you can keep it on your computer, you can have someone print it out. Then they go through like some reference books. There's Everything You Need to Ace U.S. History in One Big Fat Notebook. That's ranked number 4. You don't need that necessarily. If you want it though, you could use it. And it tells you what weeks it's used. This is used in multiple weeks. Another DK Eyewitness North American Indian book is ranked number 2. It's also used multiple weeks. So then you can kind of decide, okay, is it worth it if I get this book, or like how many weeks am I really going to use this? So there's all sorts of things. So like I'll give you another. There is an optional science add-on used in week 2 that is ranked number 4. So would I use it? I probably wouldn't. If I'm buying something, most of the time, if it's ranked number 4 and used maybe 1 week, I would maybe not do that activity or watch a video on it or something. There's one that says, read Who Was Leif Erikson? And it's used in week 1, but it's ranked number 1. So you're really focusing on that. So you would probably want to use that. It just goes through a whole bunch of those books. There's some picture books, there's some chapter books, hands-on activities. So you have so many things. You have video links. One other thing that I liked that they did this year that I hadn't seen for the books. So usually they had done like buy, borrow, I can't remember, maybe open library, but they have added more options, and I love it because I always find different options. So it says buy, borrow, ebook, audiobook, Hoopla, open library, ever, and other. So I'm always finding things on Hoopla or the Libby app, and so I like that there's more options there because I always had to write in some of my other curriculum from them. I have like scribbles everywhere, and then I'm always, if I'm buying it from like Thriftbooks or a second sale, I can't remember all of the second sale book places, then I write like the prices down and compare them, like Amazon prices and stuff. So I am always writing, like scribbling in the book list. So after the book list, you have kind of going through like the supply list. And so it will list out all the supplies for every single week that you might need. Like it could be construction paper, it could be ingredients for recipes. So you're gonna have all of that listed through every week. Then we're gonna go into the schedule. So I'm just gonna show you quickly 1 week of the printed schedule. This is PDF, I think. I'm gonna show you this all online too, but this is a printed schedule if you wanted to do it printed. So it goes, week 1 is right here. You have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And so this is gonna always start, I think, every week for the early American history for grades 4 through 8. You're gonna start with the Beowulf's Big Book of Early History, and it tells you what pages you need to read each day. So then you're gonna go into what all the extras. So you got nonfiction, Who Was Leif Erikson, and it tells you what chapters to read and what to do. Some notes there. There is a fiction section, but there's nothing fiction listed for this week. The next one is geography and maps, and it kind of tells you a lot of times to go through Google Earth if you're talking about a certain place. And it might also give you some different links. There's some underlined things, so I'm assuming those are links, which would be helpful with the online schedule. And then there's a buffet of extra resources. So you have activities such as arts and crafts, recipes, and science. Then you have printables, some different printables. There's one that's Marco Polo Unit Study and Lap Book. There's also an Explorer's Notebook. There's videos, and there are so many links. Look at this. There's so many links. You have some websites that you can go to. A lot of times they're like little activities or articles or games. There's an online game. And then some optional reference books to browse, it says. So you have a couple listed down below. So that is pretty much what a printed schedule would look like. It is really easy to just go online and click on the links though. So I will be showing you that here in just a second. But one thing I did want to point out is that I have seen, if you are using the high school version already and you maybe didn't like the spine or would prefer to use this Beowulf's Big Book of Early American History, you may use that as a spine or a helpful tool in the high school as well. They don't say that it's necessarily on high school level, but you may bring it in there. One other thing, I did mention that they're creating the younger version of this early American history. They do plan to do a year 2, I believe, for the 4th through 8th and the younger for the late American history, but that will be coming later on. That's not coming right away. So I did want to point all of that out. And so I will take you on to my computer and show you the Big Book of Early American History and also the online schedule and just kind of show you, and I'll show you a few extra things. So all right, so this is after you've purchased. These are the downloads that you will receive. The 11 things that I mentioned earlier. You have 10 times to download those onto your computer or wherever you want to download things. And this is where you will find your downloads. Then we'll move on to where you can find your online schedule. You click on this second part and you will go to view, and then you will have it listed down for each week. You can choose whatever week you are working on. I'm just going to click on week 1 to show you what it is like on the online schedule. So you just scroll down. You could click on week 2 if you needed to, but just like the paper schedule, it's listed as week 1, and you have all your days of the week and which pages you need to read. There's little notes in the schedule as well. There's also links for books, but those are usually linked right to Amazon if you wanted to go find them other places. There is a little note right here that says, note to secular parents viewing the online sample of this schedule. There are 4 notes for Christians throughout the 36 weeks of the schedule. They are easily deleted for those who don't wish to view them. So if you are a secular family, you don't have to do that. There are some other links here. There's crafts. Some of the crafts or hands-on things and the recipes are in Beowulf's Big Book of Early American History, so you can find them in there. There's printables. You have all of the video links here. There are a lot of TED Ed videos and Brain Pop videos, as well as just other YouTube links. And then you have a few other websites, like you have an online game and some articles you can look at. And then here are your optional reference books to go along with that week. Now we have the Beowulf's Big Book of Early American History. This is like their narration summary page for that you could print off for each chapter if you wanted your child to kind of help remember what they have learned from that chapter. Now we're moving on to Beowulf's Big Book of Early American History. And I'm just going to kind of flip through it really quickly, but it is beautiful, and you will be able to just see why they say maybe not to print it yourself. But here are the chapters in the table of contents. They are the big chapters, and then they have sub-chapters. Each day is listed, so you have week 1, day 1, and they would just read until week 1, day 2. Lots of beautiful pictures. Beowulf is throughout. This is one of the recipes listed in here. I've seen in one of the Facebook groups of people already doing it and said it was really yummy, so I can't wait to do that one. And then we're moving on to week 1, day 2. So that's where they would start day 2. There are Greek and Latin words. You can see there's a bolded word on this page as well. And then you have some more like map work. And there's a poem there, and you're doing week 1, day 3, week 1, day 4. And you have week 1, day 5 right here. And then there's how to draw a compass, how to make a hard stack, ship's biscuits, and then you're ready to start week 2. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope that this was helpful. Don't forget to use that coupon code to be an early adopter of this for 15% off on their website. I will link it all down below. Like and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.